What's up, YouTube? This is Vernacular TV. If you like the content that I'm producing, please like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. The conversation about sex, sexuality, gender is a hot conversation within the societal sphere. The cancel culture, some would say the cancel culture, feel like you can't say this, you can't say that. These conversations are being had within our political spheres, within our religious sphere, within our societal sphere, as to how we govern the society with so much differences within the society. The LGBT movement has been fighting since the 60s for their civil rights and their rights to practice whatever behavior pattern they see fit. Then you got the conservatives, from the religious aspect. The conservatives believe in the family, in the men, women, and children. Believe in two gender, men and women. So these conversations being had as to how we come to tolerate each other within society with all these differences. However, recently, Micheal Phelps, 13-time Olympic gold medalist Micheal Phelps, as he made his media runs on CNN, he was asked a question by the CNN journalist Christina Amanpour about Lia Thomas, the Penn State transgender athlete that is setting record in the swimming competition against women. Micheal Phelps, he kind of danced around the subject matter because, criticizing the LGBT movement sometimes may lead back to a backlash that may not be good for your career when you in that spheres of Hollywood and entertainment and show business. So Micheal Phelps, he beat around the subject matter as to transgender athlete participating in women's sport. His take was that it's not fair. It's not fair. He equated to doping. When he was in swimming, he felt like there was no even playing field. And he just want a level playing field in women competition. Lia Thomas is winning and setting records that she could not have set when she was a biological male against other male competition. But as she transgend to the women transgend and become a transgender woman, the women competition, she still have those physical disposition, those physical attribute that she had when she was born as a biological male. These conversations are very tough to have, but you see it in politics. States like Idaho, Tennessee, Mississippi, even down in Florida with DeSantis, Abbott in Texas, they're all coming together to pass legislation to be able to ban transgender athletes from competing in women's sport. These are difficult conversations to have because it will come down to tolerance. It will come down to truth and justice. It will come down to equality for all, but very complex. If you believe that transgender women shouldn't be participating in women's sport, and you absolutely have a right to that belief. If you believe transgender women should participate, you have a right to that claim. But we have to look at the scientific fact that is there. There is a competitive advantage when a transgender athlete, when you transgend like Lia Thomas into women's sporting event and competing in there, you have an advantage. And that must be frank. So now the NCAA is being questioned by the rules on how athletes such as Lia Thomas can compete with women's sport, the women's swimming competition at Penn State. Just by blocking testosterone for a year doesn't completely suppress all your physical attributes that you had when you were born at that sex, male or female. So this conversation is being had. It's very complex conversation. Very complex conversation. As the LGBT movement have garnered so much power, certain conversation can be had. But it's the old status quo of just conservative value, the man and woman, is that the norm? Or are things shifting now? Tolerance and acceptance of other people and their behavior pattern, their new behavior pattern, is it acceptable? Are you going to deal with it? Or, are you going to deal with your fellow citizen even though they have those differences? But these conversations being had within the society, within the political spheres, as we see around the country, on critical race theory, the stopping of teaching of critical race theory, the stopping and teaching of social emotional learning. So these complexities happen, but it all takes place within the culture war. As Micheal Phelps, as he made his CNN media round, he spoke about Lia Thomas, the transgender athlete, dominating the competition. He said he just want even playing field, and the commission needs to reassess as to transgender women competing in women's sport and reassess the rules to that, reassess the regulation, reassess the requirement to that, because as we can see, Lia Thomas is dominating the competition. So, hey, chime in your thoughts.